Larry, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. We were just talking before I turned on the record button for Rudy Blair Entertainment Media. There was chaos happening over here.
Yeah, but it's. I guess it's all part of the game plan, and we're promoting our music, and it's great to be here at Indie Week.
I was going to ask you that. How does it feel? All these people from around the world. I mean, we're not just talking Torontonians, we're not just talking Canadians, but there are people, literally bands, artists around the world, all here doing what we all love. Music.
Well, it feels very comfortable for me. In the last 6 months, I've performed in France, in Caen, France. I performed in Sweden, and I'm here now.
Are the audiences different? Do you have to approach it a different way when you're in a different country?
I think music is music, and when I performed in France and when I performed in Sweden, I think if you have a good piece of music, the reception is going to be warm and welcoming. I had a great time, and I felt very comfortable, and that's why I decided when I was invited to come to Indie Week that, I'd like to do this.
When did the love of music start for you? What was the passion? Where did it all come from?
It started in Montreal when I was 11 years of age. And I spent the first 29 years of my life growing up in Montreal, and then I moved to the Maritimes, moved to Nova Scotia, and I have been living in North Carolina since 2008. So, I mean, my influences are many at my age, and I wrote so many musicals over the years, so my music is a very eclectic mix. But like everybody else, I've been influenced, but I think in the last hopefully in the last 25, 30 years, I've created my own little genre.
I want to ask you though, and no disrespect to the younger folks and their generation stuff, but I know growing up for myself, and maybe you feel the same way. I think that we grew up in such a great transition from what we would have heard from the 50s rock and roll to the British invasion to the 70s rock and R&B and funk and the 80s and that sound and the birth of country music and that grunge music. I mean, what is it like for you seeing all that? And when those things were all coming together, was it influencing what you were doing, what you were writing, and how you were listening to music?
Well, of course. I mean, having lived the years that I have lived, I have gone through all those genres that you have just mentioned. And so that now, at this stage of my life, I believe my music reflects all of those past, pioneers that have come to this point. I still believe a good song is a good song. Certainly for me, lyrics are very important. Production is very important. And when I listen to a piece of music, I'd like to hear the instrumentation in it, and I like to hear the lyrics. And there's so much today, I mean, certainly live music, some wonderful musicians, but I have a hard time, and my hearing's still good, but I have a hard time hearing the lyrics.
Okay, so to hear your stuff, what do we have out right now?
My new double CD is called One Heart at a Time. It's a major eclectic mix of way I write, from jazz to blues. There's pop on there. There's power ballads on there. And you can access me on all the media, YouTube, Spotify. I have a number of songs out right now that's doing very well in Europe. The major song right now is called Last Train to Cairo. And I have a new one just being released during this week called Shine a Little Light. And I'm blessed. I work with wonderful musicians that I've worked with over the years. And I also work with different musicians that I travel with on the road.
Social media is the place to go. Where do we go to follow you?
Okay, well, tonight we're performing at the B-Side Lounge. And what I've brought with me is just myself, and I brought my violin player with me into Canada. And I don't think anybody will be disappointed. I believe our show is at 6 o'clock. It's an early show.
And I was saying, Facebook, social media, where do we go to follow you? Facebook page?
Go to barrystaggmusic.com.
There we go.
barrystaggmusic.com. I had to think there for a minute.
That's okay, my friend. I do it all the time. Look, thank you so much for doing this interview with me.
Thanks, Rudy. I appreciate it.
And more or less, thank you just for great music.
Thank you so much, Rudy. I appreciate it. Okay.